Alright. Well, there we go. Well, today's the day. Pull this old Kawasaki out of this thing and put the old Vanguard in there. But there's one thing I have to do before we start this project. Over the last few videos I've been talking to you guys about a couple projects that I've been very excited about. Well, today, right now, we're going to go outside and I'll show you what I've been talking about. Welcome to HP Small Engine. Ooh, I need to clean my door. Alright, I gotta have the light because you know it's dark out. There we go. Wow. And here they are. Oh yeah. Got me a couple three-wheelers. ATCs. I believe this one is a 1986 Yamaha DX 225. And this one is a 1986 KLT 185. I heard this one runs. I don't know anything about this one, but that is what is going to be coming up here probably in the next couple weeks. I'm not sure which one I'll work on first, but they both need work done, so that's what we'll be doing. But for now, we'll head back in the house or in the garage and get this Massey situated and get this done. I absolutely really like this tractor, but the biggest flaw with this thing is this engine. And it's not that it's a bad engine. This thing runs like a champ. The biggest problem with it is that hub adapter I have in here just does not want to center on the flywheel, and I don't know what the deal is. Now, they don't make hub adapters for, man, I smell gas. Anyways, they don't make hub adapters for Kawasaki's to go in where an Onan used to be. So I made this one myself. I had to go grab a 1/4 inch or a 7/16. Anyways, yeah, I made this one myself, and the first one I had made, my machinist guy at work made one. It was made out of steel, and it worked fine. It shook because it wasn't centered on the flywheel for some reason. So I'm like, all right, there's got to be something wrong with that. I bought some aluminum, and decided to do it myself just to see what the heck was going on. Not that he didn't do a bad job, because I literally copied everything he did. I just figured I'd make it a little bit lighter. Try to see if it knocked the vibration down, which it did, but would you just get on the nut there? You know, it'd be a lot easier if I had a socket. We won't talk about that anyway. Just for some reason, I can't get it to balance. So, figured I'd hit 2 stones with one bird, and I bought one for the Vanguard, which you see on the bench behind there, and I know that'll be fine. But what my guess is, which I'll explain in here a little bit, there's 4 bolts that hold the adapter to the flywheel. And I didn't have the correct size bit for how the diameter of the bolt, so it wasn't a very tight fit. It was a little bit loose, which I don't think it would throw it off as far as it did, especially when it's the same issue anyways and stuff. Between that and the fact that this thing leaks so much oil now. So I've rebuilt this. Like I said, I know it runs good, but the biggest problem is this is from the vibration. I think it took out the crank seal on the flywheel side, and that's not good. Here, we'll put you on top of the hot rod. No. Put you over here. You go over here. here. You go way over here. There we go. There. But anyways, now I gotta, let's see, I'll pull the exhaust off of that. And I gotta pull the exhaust, unplug the plugs for the charging system, which I don't really need to unplug that. No. See, this tractor, I had to make the wiring harness tie into this. That engine is a commercial engine, and that engine, the Vanguard, has its own wiring harness, so I literally can just take this stuff out and put all that in. Because, for example, I have my, where did I put my solenoid at? My solenoid's way back there. Anyways, I'm not going to need the solenoid that comes on this. I just need to run a wire, so that won't be that big a deal. Okay, sweet. Let's get you guys moved around so we can start pulling some stuff off of this thing here. I guess we'll start with the exhaust. Now, the way the exhaust bolts on this is right under here. There are two large bolts, and then you take your nuts off where the stud is. I'm telling you, I can't think of any words to save my life today. I don't remember what size those are, but I'm going to guess 18s. Pretty good size bolts here. Ah, it's not quite it. I don't think a 17 will work. Am I going to try one anyways? You're darn right I am. 17 works. Now, okay. Don't pick on me. Well, is everyone having a good day today? I hope so. I've been having a really good day. So far, I slept great. Because, you know, night shift life. Alright, get this bolt out of here. I'm hoping to be able to use this on the Vanguard. I mean, I know I'm going to have to... Put your hand in the right spot. I know I'm going to have to cut up some stuff, but that'll be fine. It's all custom anyways. As you can tell, this isn't a stock pipe. It used to come out the side here. Put you two right there. Okay, now that is... yep, that size. That size right there. I'm going to guess a 13? 12. We're going to guess 12, and if I'm wrong, I'll be like, yeah, I told you guys. Well, it works. The problem is I can't get it in there. Because, you know, ratchet wrenches are great, but they don't fit. 12. We'll just loosen these up. Yeah. Yeah. Ow. Head. Okay, 1, 2. I'll just set these up there, and once I get the exhaust pulled off, put the nuts right back on to hold the exhaust gaskets on. In theory. Okay. Here. Alright, that's off of there. Now this should just kind of... just like so. And I can't save the exhaust gaskets because they literally blew in half, so... it was worth a shot, I guess. Those are garbage. Garbage. Alright, put the nuts back on, and then we will pull off the throttle cable and choke cable, which happen to be right here. Which I will need I'll just grab a flat screwdriver just to make life easy. Here we are. Alright. Here. Why would you grab such a short one? Alright. Just stay in your spot. There we go. Alright, that should be loosened enough. should be loosened enough, right? No. You loosen it all the way till it turns. Alright, yeah. That's out of the way. I can't remember where I picked this engine up from, but the guy who bought it, this Kawasaki originally, before I bought it, the guy I bought it from, was telling me that he purchased this to put it on a wood splitter. And I looked at him and I said, how big of a wood splitter do you need? He goes, well, I need one to actually, be able to split logs, not just little wood. I'm like, oh, well, that'll do it. My goodness. Most of the wood splitters I see around here have like 10 horses. Singles. Yeah, that should go in there. Here. I don't need to tighten that down. Alright, that's done. Let's see. Well, it's going to be very painful pulling off the bolts on the bottom that mount it, because it's a very long process. I can only get like this much of a turn every time. So I guess we'll just do the old montage music and get to work on this. Here we go. I think that was a new record. That was 10 minutes. I even took my time. Alright, let's get the Vanguard over here and set in place. Let's see what's the best way to carry this thing. Oh, probably this way. Nope, probably not. Oh, probably. Oh, let's just do it. Okay, got it. Yeah. Alright, there's that. Okay. Now, how far away are we? 400 yards. Actually, we're right there. That's good. Beautiful. I was wrong. We don't have enough room. Alright, so let's see. That engine has to go up a mile. Not used to having that problem. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. So I gotta make engine mounts for it. Sweet, okay, that sounds fine. Shouldn't be too bad. Let's see how far off it is. About, which actually that'd probably be easier. Nope. We're about a solid half inch. I mean, I've got plenty of room, but it has to be at least a half inch higher. because that's drooping. I can't pull down on that. Well, shoot. Okay, let's grab some steel and just kind of set it up a little bit and see what it needs to look like. There's some over here, I think. Ow. Ow. Why is everything so sharp? Come on, I gotta have more than just one of those. Well, doggone it. Okay. I gotta find some steel. We'll get her situated. Right here's what I was seeing. That's supposed to sit, I don't know, probably up here. Probably about that high, if not a little bit higher. We're down quite a bit. You can see this is, that'll move up and down. That's adjustable a little bit. You got a little bit of play in the very back. There's a U-joint. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got a couple pieces of angle iron. And I'll drill a hole. Actually, let me go grab a piece. I'll explain. I already have a hole in them. Here, let's head over this way. Right here. Grab one of these for example. For a sample. This is what I'm going to use. What I'll do is I will bolt them to the bottom of the engine like so. And that should give me enough lift for the correct amount. But what I'll do is drill that out, bolt it to the bottom of the engine like I was saying. Slide it in place. Figure out, I'll actually probably put a bolt in this and tighten it just so it stays where it needs to. And then I'll clean the engine mount up. And I'll weld these like that to the engine mount. And yes, I'm going to put bracing on the side. I'm not just going to leave that. That's a little chintzy. So let me get these drilled out, get the bolts in, and see where we're sitting. All right, well, she's bolted up. It's just sitting here, but here's my lift kit. I'll mark that out so I can pick the engine back up, grind it, and put it back down. They're not perfectly straight. I'm going to get those straightened out first. But the way this works, this actually mounts to your PTO. As you can see, going through here, barely, kind of. Woo! Goes back, and then that goes all the way back to the PTO. And then it belt drives the bottom shaft, which is actually your hydraulic pump to move. Now, the funny thing about this is, when I first bought this thing, when I had the Onan in it, there's a bearing. Look past this stuff. Anyways, on the bottom shaft where this arm is, there's a bearing in there, and the bearing come out of its housing, and I couldn't even drive it on the trailer. I drove it around the guy's house, and bleh, I'm like, oh, here we go. Well, I figured it out, and I got it fixed. But she's a little messy underneath there. There's an oil leak in the back I got to look at somewhere, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do, yeah, like I said, I'll get these straightened out, clean them areas up, and I'll weld this engine in. I am going to measure to make sure it's straight, because according to the engine mount, it's not, but I'll get her squared away, make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to, and we should be all good to go. All right, that looks good. We look like we're ready to go. Let's grab a glove here. Throw a couple hefty tacks on this thing. All right. Oh. One. Seven. Okay, let's see. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. Let's burn it on there. Give me a little wire. Here we go. Probably going to smoke a little bit. There's all the oil everywhere on this thing, so that's to be expected. Nice and toasty. Phew. And for the last one, I can get in there. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let that cool a little bit first. I'm gonna unbolt the engine, pull the engine back out. Then I'm gonna take a piece of this and cut it to just under the height of one of those, and then stand it up right next to it, so it'll be like so. Kind of box it in a little bit. That'll help with the rigidity, I believe. I hope. All right, we'll jump ahead to that and we'll let this cool down. Okay, so you guys don't think I cut it a little bit close on the bolt length, did you? Oh, those are all the way down. It's okay. The engine come out, so I know it'll work. At least I don't have to worry about losing my bolts. Anyways, we're gonna get that piece over there cut, and I figured, like I said, I'll just lay them down in here. Boom, boom. I might even have them hang down a little bit more, and I'll tie it into some stuff. I just want to make sure I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, that would be great. I'm probably going to end up doing these ones on the outside, because over here I have a little bit of a cutout. I can really get my wrench to move. Over here, not so much. So they'll both be on that side of the tractor, but it'll still serve the purpose. It'll be fine. All right, let's get to work. There she be. She's welded in finally, all four of them. I'm going to let that cool big time, because I'm not touching that for at least an hour. And then we will put the engine back in, and then bolt it back up, and then start doing wiring. I also need to figure out how I'm going to do a fuel pump, because this still has the spot to, wrong side, to hook it up right there, and it has the bolts where the bracket's supposed to go, but I don't have the bracket. So I got to figure that out. I probably had to build one, of course. That's no big deal. But anyways, we'll get back to you after that's done cooling down. Well, it is attached. As you can see. I ended up going a different route. Found smaller bolts and just ran through. And this one couldn't fit it underneath the shroud, so I had to drill a hole through the main beam there and right through the bottom. It's alright. My idea was okay until I realized that it was going to be really stupid to try to put the bolts back through it. So I'm like, okay, we'll just change it around. Next step, I need to set up the positive cable, which I'll pull the battery and stuff, get the wiring situated. The nice thing about this tractor, and I'll even show you guys, taking this gas tank out literally takes like 3 minutes, if that. You just shut off the petcock down there, pull that strap, and it's out. Easy as cake. Okay, let me think. So okay, cool. Let's get on that electrical stuff and get that taken care of. Pull the fuel line off after you shut it. You gotta shut it first. Thinking too far ahead now. Alright, there. Now I won't get gas everywhere, just all over something small. Okay, get that off of there. Now let's see. Here. Okay. You, come off of there. Come in. Listen. There we go. All right. Keep it like that so we don't lose any more gas. We'll just set you right over here on the hot rod so you can peel over the hot rod. No drippy. All right. Anyways, that off, and then it's attached. It's not. Oh, it's just stuck to the foam. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, come on, make it a fool out of me. Yeah, there, that easy. I don't know how much is in that gas tank, but I'd say just over half, or just under half, around half empty, half full, whatever it is. But there, now I got all the room I need. So since this has the solenoid right on the starter here, all I'm gonna do is, first thing I'm gonna do is eliminate this, unless I can make it reach. I kind of jumped it right here, but I need to change the positive cable. I'm gonna bypass the stock solenoid by just going to the same terminal that's coming out the positive battery, then run it down here, and then all the stock wiring harness will go off of that. So guess I'll walk around and pull the battery off real quick. Excuse you. Why you gotta cough so much? I'm trying to focus here. Oh, my goodness, my grandma must have tightened that one down. There we go. Man, I don't know what kind of exercises that woman did, but what took me a pipe wrench she could do with her hands, apparently. At least that's what my grandpa said. Still think he's full of it, but I'm going to believe him because, you're supposed to respect your elders. Get out. There we go. All right. Now, you go back on there so I can get you out the way. You go right there. Right there. Now, one thing I need to do different was this tractor I wired up. Oh, where am I putting this? Okay, right there. I have wired up to run all key switch, which includes the headlights. And to shut the Kawasaki off, I put a toggle. Well, the toggle is now going to be for the headlights. And key switch will be obviously right off of the Vanguard's wiring harness. So, all right, let's take a quick peek and see how we got to pull this off. Okay, I wonder if I can just sneak this in there and give her a twist. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Get the stuff that fits the right size. Well, else fails, just get your metric. See, this one's standard and metric adjustable. Yeah. I understand what it's there for. Don't pick on me. You need to get in there and loosen. No, you got to go the other way. There we go. Now you got to loosen. Yeah. Just like that. Probably should pull the key out. All right. Oh, I got it. So I know this is a good key switch. So I'm just gonna put this in the keep it for later pile. I do need to figure out for charging. I'm assuming, yeah, that sends through there. This is my amp meter, whatever amp meter. That works. That goes there to there to there to there. So that just tells you that. And that goes to that, which goes to that and does that. I don't know. We're just gonna shove this in there. Ah! Houston, we have a problem. Ah! I'm gonna have to extend some wires. There. Great. Okay, that's not terrible. Just gotta keep them lined up the same. Pull the plug. There. In the meantime, we'll get this switch put in there. Sometime. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now does that gotta go there? Is that supposed to go there? Sure, we'll do that. That's fine. That'd be fine. I don't have enough now. Pull the bag out. You just do your normal stuff and quit doing it. There. All right. I guess I'm gonna get all my wires and stuff. I'll try to keep the colors the same. So yeah, what I'll do is I have pretty much all these colors. I know I have red. I think I have yellow, orange, white, and black. I don't know if I have whatever nasty brown that is, but it'll be fine. What do you guys think? You gotta run it under there, give it another 1.5 feet just to make sure I have enough. Yep, sounds great. All right, let me go grab all this stuff and have fun with wiring. Yay! Wiring is all done, and my goodness, it looks 10 times better than what my Kawasaki had. Right up in there, kabang. There's where I jumped the main cable over, ran it down. That should be just fine. Now, the only thing I need to do is I'm gonna put the gas tank back in. I'm just gonna hook up my fuel pump and let it kind of flop for a minute. But I want to see if this thing will fire up and idle and sound correct. Just want to make sure that's all good. I'll hurry up and hook up my throttle cable and stuff too. The nice thing about these, you can hook it up on either side. That's fantastic. And then my choke cable should be I gotta figure out how that hooks up. Yep, I'll figure it out. No big deal. All right, let's get her hooked up and see how it works. All right, everything's set up. Fuel line hooked up and everything. My stupid butt rolled this over a little bit, then realized I didn't hit the record button. So I just put a little fuel in here to see if I can get it to bark off and then hurry up and start pulling fuel. So let's see what happens. Come on, baby. It's only running on one cylinder for some reason. That's not good. All right, I'm going to take a look at this to see exactly what's going on. Before I do any more testing of the sort, I'm going to get this exhaust on here, this muffler, because this is a little bit loud to do testing on in the middle of the night. So I think what I ended up doing, I think I just flooded it a little bit, but it'll be all right. What I'm going to do is right where both of these bend, I'm going to cut them. And as you can see, I don't know if can you line it up. These are a little bit offset because one cylinder is farther back than the other. I'm going to try to trim them off right behind the flanges and then just figure out how to get it set up in there. I would like to bolt this up to the front of this engine too. I don't know if these bolts will fit. Let's see. That'd be fantastic. Long-winded son of a... Okay. Fit conveniently. It's tight. It's a standard thread, isn't it? It's got to be. I don't know. I might just need a tap ran through it. No, that's pretty standard thread. Okay. I'll find bolts for that. Anyways. Let's get these cut off and start eyeballing how everything needs to work out. Yep. All right. Sawzall, where did you go? There you are. All right. And cut my finger off. Right there. Juan. Don't cut the oil dipstick tube. Let's see, how straight does that look? Not at all. Perfect. All right, now we'll buzz the ends of the muffler off real quick here. Excuse you. Ah! Ah! Come back. You guys need to go over there. Stay. All right, let's see if we can make shift ever so gently setting these up. All right, it's very close to the same size end of that. And those two holes will work, but I gotta trim more of that off. Here, let's get an eyeball in there. Ooh, I gotta cut that right down. Okay, that's fine. All right, let me get this trimmed up a little bit more and then get the steel shavings out of the exhaust. And then I'll try to get it bolted up to it, then I can just weld it right on. That'd be fantastic. So that didn't work quite as planned. So what I'm gonna do, I cut these right off on both sides. I have it bolted temporarily, spaced about where I want it. I'm just gonna get a piece to sit in there, clean them up, weld it right on. Do the same over here. Obviously that's gonna be a little bit shorter. If I gotta do a little trimming, that's fine. That'll just be way easier than what I was thinking about doing. I've got these pieces here from what I was working with. So I could actually trim that down a little bit and that'd probably fit right in there. Yeah. This one, obviously the other side's gonna need long. Where'd you put it? Right there. The other side's gonna need to be a little bit longer, so we'll put this one over here. And yeah, I'll just, yep. Anyways, I'll measure it right here. Figure exactly how long I need it, and that'll work good for that side, and then we'll be all set. And it'll actually be halfway quiet. No, probably. When I put this piece on, I didn't realize that, well, see, it did come out here originally, so both cylinders had to go through this. Well, you can put your finger in this hole and feel this one. So, whoops. It's all right, it's still quieter than straight pipe, so that's fine. So let me get this all mocked up. I'll get it tacked on and we'll see what it comes out to be looking like. All right, she's all buttoned up in there. Just tack welded for right now. I'm gonna pull the exhaust off so I can bench weld it. That way I can get everywhere, all the way around, welded up nicely. And then we'll put it back on, fire it up, and hear how she sounds. how nice and smooth that is? Yeah, the other one would have been shaking the absolute crap out of it. Moving a lot of air too. That fan works terrific. All right. Oh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. As you see, obviously from the beginning of the video, we will be playing around with some three-wheelers here before too long. I have one more thing I need to do now that this is ready to go, and then I'm going to start bringing some three-wheelers in. Yeah. I have a little Toro push-behind snow thrower thing. I need to get that going because we have some snow on the way, and I don't quite have everything I want to get the snowblower on this yet. I am going to put that one John Deere one I showed you guys. If you haven't seen that, then go back and watch some of my other videos. You'll see it. But, yep, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.